Thank you for watching our video. Please give us a big like, subscribe to our channel for new videos every day with amazing cars. Leave us your opinion in the comment section on the video. Thank you. The only one I was concerned about was the Target. He looked like Lemmy Kilmister of Motörhead but without the silly hat. My number one goal over the next 24 hours was to stay out of his way. Truth is, staying out of people's way was my job at this year's Rolex 24 at Daytona. It was my first time back in 20 years. 2 decades ago, I was a bewildered cub reporter, fresh out of journalism school and not earning enough to make a profit. It was my first big assignment, and I remember thinking I needed to keep track of each entry, in each class, for each lap, for 24 hours, often in the dark, with different drivers swapping in and out of each. It would be like keeping track of each bounding ball bearing in a pachinko machine for 24 hours. With the lights off, I developed a twitch. This time I'd been invited, or at least allowed, to hang out with the crew fielding the number 33 Mercedes-AMG GT3 car. It runs in the hyper-competitive GT class along with entries from Acura, Audi, Ferrari, Lamborghini, Lexus, and Porsche. They are all officially part of customer racing programs, but the factories are very much involved. The 33 car, a racing version of the AMG GT, is campaigned by Team Raleigh Motorsports for car owner, dealership mogul, driver, Texan, and amiable guy Ben Keating. 2 of the other drivers were Tremuro ringers. And the final pilot was a Mercedes factory driver with the spectacular name of Adam Christodoulou. For an hour, my brain was on an endless loop reciting Christ ha-da-oo-la-oo. Bill Riley, who runs the team, apparently has no such obsessive repetitive thought problem. He sat unmoving on the bench atop the pit box, staring at a bank of screens packed with hieroglyphics. He didn't sleep during the race. Not even the catnaps that the crew grabbed between pit stops. He left the bench only to go to the bathroom, although not to the porta-john behind pit lane, which, by the 18-hour mark, was so full that only surface tension kept it from spilling over. After the race, I become a manatee, he said, lowering his head and bobbing slowly. The intensity of the tunnel vision concentration would turn the sharpest brain to tapioca. This year I got to watch the race as the team does, gloriously unaware of the things that do not directly relate to your car, your driver, your tires, etc. Riley was unaware, for example, that the prototypes were blowing tires at an alarming rate. If he cared about how Fernando Alonso was faring in his first big endurance race, Riley didn't show it. Alonso wasn't faring well. The only thing that mattered about the faster GTLM and prototype competitors was that they didn't crash into the 33 car. Over the team radio, the spotters carried on the world's most mind-numbing stream of consciousness poem, prototype on your tail. Corvette GTLM passing on right. Prototype passing on left. It might be sacrilege, but from the crew's perspective, much of the race was boring. There was much more standing around than I had imagined. With about 75% of the race run, crew members were spending an increasing amount of time staring holes through whatever was in front of them. Just bushels of potatoes stewing in a broth of the sweet cologne of race fuel, the acrid alarm of hot brakes, and a whiff of concession air fry oil. As mechanic and tire changer Wesley Brown pointed out, once we roll the car onto pit lane, our race is over. Then it's a lot of standing around and going 0 to 100 miles per hour instantly. He also noted that because of the constant noise in the tent, the crew has developed hand signals to communicate. Example, with your hand just below your belt buckle, point your index finger down. This means I got to pee. But when Brown started with the team, the others on the crew told him to make the bathroom break sign by creating a circle with the forefinger and thumb of one hand and inserting the index finger of the other hand and twirling it around. The rest of the crew would then laugh at him. The tire runners kept a more consistent pace, hauling wheels with used rubber to Continental's compound to have new tires mounted and then bringing them back to the pits. It's an entry-level job. At Daytona, the 33 car's tire runner was one Eric Hussell, whose day job is manager of SRT vehicle dynamics at FCA. He was spending vacation days working for this team, which used to run Vipers. And, no, he didn't say a word about the next Viper. And the race? Well, after starting 12th in class, the team made steady progress. With a half hour to go, driver Jeroen Bleekemolen was reeling in the lead Lamborghini Huracan. But the 33 needed a splash of fuel to make it to the finish. With 15 minutes left, Bleekemolen pulled into the pits, took 10 seconds of fuel, and roared back out into 4th place. Said Riley over the radio, "Remember, I'll be pissed if we finish 4th and all the dive planes are still on the car." Alas, with his rear tires spent, Bleekemolen ended the race 4th, 2.8 seconds away from a podium finish. By then, much of the crew was already packing things up. They had to vacate the speedway in 4 hours. Thank you for watching our video. Please give us a big like, subscribe to our channel for new videos every day with amazing cars. Leave us your opinion in the comment section on the video. Thank you.